Me and my friends were in a Steam chat last night. We were talking about movies and games and sports and some other stuff. And the topic of Oppenheimer and Barbie came up. And put it this way, well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I only want to see Oppenheimer. I have no interest in Barbie whatsoever. But I mean, if a group of people went to go see it, I might go. But Oppenheimer. Anyway, so naturally, when it gets late and we start talking about random stuff in Steam chats, like conspiracies come up. Conspiracies, some not conspiracies, sometimes just dumb shit that we talk about. Anyway, so one of my homies, he sent me this clip from Joe Rogan where I don't know who the guy is that Joe Rogan is speaking to, but he claims that the original nuclear explosions, well, I'm guessing the ones middle of World War II and like early to mid 1940s were not real. They were staged, kind of like the moon landing type stuff or whatever, like if you believe that. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never heard anything of this. I'm sure a lot of people watch some of the explosions on like YouTube and stuff, but I'm pretty sure those are like later. You know, I don't know if there are any like around the 40s or 50s. I don't know for sure. I always assumed they were a little bit later during these testing. But anyway, so I went to check this video out. I want to see what you guys think. I'm still gonna go see Oppenheimer, but this is right up my alley. It's probably gonna convince me that yeah, they might have bullshitted these explosions, but I don't know. Let's see. Fingers crossed.
Including Morris.
Oh, and I am starting the middle of the video because the beginning they're talking about California cults or something. I don't know.
Including Jim Morrison, whose father was the head of naval operations for the Vietnam War at the time. And there were these other, I forget which ones, but there were these other musicians at the time where their parents were like senior in like military, like psychological operations. And like that's all real, like that's all documented. And then third is the head of the Rand Corporation, who was one of the inspirations for the Dr. Strangelove character in the movie. So he was the guy doing all the nuclear planning for nuclear war.
What's Dr.
He
Strangelove?
lived
I don't
right in
remember
the
what
heart
that
of the
is.
hippies in Laurel Canyon.
Whoa.
In this famous house that's still there. And so the theory basically goes that the anti-war movement before the hippies was basically a square movement. It was all these basically young people, very clean cut. The men were all wearing, if you look at old like Vietnam War protests, like everybody's all like dressed up like they're going to a business meeting. It was like, and it was developing into a real threat. And so the theory is the hippie movement and rock and roll and the drug culture of the 60s was developed in order to basically sabotage the anti-war movement.
Wow.
Right.
I've actually heard
which
that.
basically
I've heard
is what
that before.
happened, right? Because then what happened is the anti-war movement became associated with the hippies, and that caused Americans to decide what side they were on, and then that led to Nixon being elected twice.
Which was also a part of chaos because that was the idea behind the Manson family and funneling acid to them. The facility
Why
was
does
equipped
Joe
with a
Rogan sound like
soundstage,
this?
screening rooms, film storage vaults, and naturally a bomb shelter. During its 22 years of operation, Lookout Mountain Laboratory produced approximately 6,500 classified films for the Department of Defense and the Atomic Energy Commission, documenting nuclear test series such as Operation Greenhouse, Operation Teapot, and Operation Buster Jangle.
So one of the conspiracy theories. Okay, here's another conspiracy theory. You've seen all the grainy footage of nuclear test blasts that with the mushroom clouds.
Yep.
And there are always these grainy things, and there's all these like little houses lined up and these little trees lined up, and it blows everything down. Well, there's always been a conspiracy theory that those were all basically fabricated at this facility. That those
Always
bombs
according to who? This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Basically, the U.S. military was basically faking these bomb tests to freak out the Russians, to make us think that we had weapons. We had basically a potency to our nuclear weapons.
Yo, okay, so Paul, so this is the moon landing theory. This is that the Americans faked the moon landing because we couldn't get there, and we had to freak out the Russians and make them think that we were catching up or ahead of them. Whatever. This is that same theory, but with nukes. Who knew? Let's see.
Arsenal that we actually didn't have at the time.
How did they fake it?
They just did. Yeah, exactly.
So this is
exactly.
it?
Well,
Yeah,
so
we've all
there's
seen this.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the question, right? So what happened? Okay, so this is great. Okay, you'll love this. So what happened to the camera?
What do you mean?
You son of a bitch.
Oh, wait.
You son of a bitch. What
How is that happening yet the camera is like totally stable and fine?
Oh my God.
And by the way, the film is fine. The radiation didn't cause any damage to the film.
Oh my God.
I was thinking the camera was destroyed. Not even about radiation.
We'll do this
in the
one. We'll
film.
do it one more time here. Let's see the car.
The car's right behind the house. It just showed up.
Oh, it
okay.
just showed up.
So wait a minute. First of all,
It wasn't there.
What is he talking about?
No car.
From?
Yeah. No car.
Start the video.
Does it really look like
Car.
A real, does that look like a real car?
That's insane.
And look at the and look at when the house blows. Look at the wood. Does that look like?
Oh,
it's a full-size
there is a. Okay, wait. I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you. I don't know if you guys can actually see it. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. In the bottom, oh yeah, you can see it. You can see it. In the bottom right corner, right here, this little car. Well, it's not little, but this car is not there. And look, I just went back 5 seconds. It's not there. This is right before the explosion. And it just appears. How did I never notice that? And I go 5 seconds. What the hell? What the yo? All right, I'm into this video. Okay, okay. Holy shit!
Like giant lumber beams as they go flying. Yeah.
That's hard to say.
Is
Wait,
that a house?
run that back. What did he say?
But does that look like those are full size giant lumber beams as they go flying?
Full size lumber beam. Come on, man.
That's
Is that-
hard to say.
Is
These
that a house or
popsicle
is that like
sticks?
is that a 12-inch scale model?
What?
Right. So like
The fucking car.
Yo,
anyway, I don't know. Like I have no idea. Having said that, if that was fake, it was faked at Lookout Mountain.
Wow.
Right. At the exact same place and time.
But did they have the kind of special effects to do something like that in the 40s?
Yeah, they did.
Well, so the conspiracy,
Oh, yeah.
the full conspiracy theory is it was Stanley Kubrick.
Always Stanley
Which would
Kubrick.
be
It's
nice.
the moon landing. Stanley
Well, that
Kubrick.
does look fake.
Same
Also,
thing.
The camera didn't move at all either.
You know what it looks like? Go back to that real quick. It looks like the smoke is too big. Watch when it hits. Like the volume, like the size of it. It looks small.
I mean, you've seen
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it looks like something we're looking
Kind
at
of
something
agree.
that's like
I kind of agree and disagree with Joe here. The smoke looks too big, but also no. The house looks too small. The smoke looks too big, but it also looks too small in comparison to what it should be.
few inches
If
tall.
that makes sense.
Well, so
Not-
if
It
you
looks
watch
like
Making of
little
Star
smoke.
Wars, any of the
You know what I mean? Like
movies
it
before CGI,
doesn't look
whenever
like
they
what you
do
would think
anything
of
like
a
that, it's
massive
always these
cloud
tiny
or dust
models.
storm would look like.
Yes.
And they just basically what they do is they
On
just
the back, I was
Piece of
talking.
it looks small.
I mean you've seen
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it looks like something we're looking at something that's like a few inches
Yeah.
tall.
Well, so
Not-
if you watch like Making of Star Wars, any of the any movies before CGI, whenever they do anything like that, it's always with these tiny models.
Yes.
And they just
These
basically that's what they
miniatures,
do is they
bro?
slow it down and then
Yo,
they
that
add sound.
does look like a miniature. I can't
Yeah,
lie. That's
this
crazy.
Looks fake as shit.
Right.
Yeah.
The clouds just don't look realistic.
Mm-mm.
Like it looks like they're too big and they move too quickly
Yeah.
back and forth.
Let's get another one. It's like okay, what the camera's fine.
That's hilarious.
Oh, there's a good. Yeah, here we go.
How did I never notice it? I've seen this footage. I think
Okay, there we go,
everyone
the camera got- okay,
has
but
seen
even
that
though
footage
but
before.
even-
How did I
even
never
still,
notice
the camera
that?
got knocked over and
What
not,
is the
not destroyed.
Wait,
there a
wait, rewind. Hold on. I didn't even notice this one.
There's
There's a camera in the house.
Oh,
This is a
go.
camera in the How did this camera not get destroyed?
Okay, there maybe the camera got. Okay, but even though, even
Yo.
still, the camera got knocked over and not,
What is the?
not destroyed.
Is there a like some sort of a response to that? Have they come with some sort of an explanation?
Not that I know of.
That seems so fake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who can tell?
I agree. That seems fake as shit
Does that make
now.
you
How
wonder
did I
about
not
other
notice
things?
that?
Well, I mean, it's like in our time, right? It's like how much stuff do you read in the news where you're like, okay, I know that's not true,
Right.
and then you're like, okay, everything I read in the history books, like I was told it was true. It's like, yeah.
It was definitely that one though was really weirdly compelling.
There's another video of them setting up these houses, which I mean, I guess you could
Really?
make after the
Oh,
fact.
I've seen this
Yeah.
too.
This is here,
Yo,
but this is here them setting it up.
You just do
It's
the
real size houses.
do the sleight of hand.
Huh.
I don't know. I assume this is all. I assume this is all not true, but it is fun to think about.
Why would you assume it's not true? The camera alone. Like this alone.
yeah.
Like,
how could the?
yeah, where is
It's
the
supposed to be like
phone?
an
Where's
EMP
that
and all
camera?
this. If it's not just
They have to
destroyed
have an
outright,
explanation.
how
Someone
do?
must have asked them at some point.
Or nobody asked.
Well,
Yep.
maybe.
Yeah, it might be one of those, wow, look what they did. We know the Soviets did it too.
Yeah.
Yuri Gagarin,
Yeah, probably.
when he was in that capsule in space, you can clear, if you see the actual capsule and then you see the film footage that was supposedly of him in the capsule, there's like two different sources of light. There's shadows. The camera somehow or another is in front of him, this big ass camera. There's no room in the thing. Like they filmed it afterwards and it looks fake. Like, oh, I'm sure he really did go into space, but that wasn't it. That was some weird propaganda.
Garrett Kasparov has a theory. This is the theory there are missing centuries.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
Kasparov has the theory that there are centuries that didn't happen.
What do you mean?
Well, just literally centuries. That like this whole idea of the Middle Ages lasted 1,200 years or whatever is just like not true.
I believe that. Okay, I was like,
Really?
where's he going with this?
Why does he think that?
There's something about the whatever, is there like enough historical evidence to support it, and various people over various authorities over time who want to tell various stories.
All right, don't freak me out too much. That's another video. But that Middle Ages thing, I kind of believe that. But I think that has more to do with that people lie about history. To the victor go the spoils, and the victor writes history type situation. There's some nonsense going on there. But this whole nuclear explosion thing, I've never considered that. Because when you see, I saw that footage in particular, I saw that when I was like in middle school or something. Everyone has seen that at some point in their life. I never really considered it to be fake or anything. I never even thought about the camera, never thought about the film. How do they get that footage? Like, I've seen footage recently, like of when they do the underwater test and it's like a plane flying over. You see that and you're like, well, it's a camera in a plane. But that's like early, like mid 1940s or whatever. Where's the camera? And aren't nuclear explosions supposed to release like EMPs? I know the technology wasn't, especially camera technology, wasn't the most sophisticated. I don't think they had microchips back then. Well, they definitely didn't. They had these huge computers or whatever, but still, the camera should have been fried. The film should have been fried. The camera should have been just outright destroyed. Even if they have this massive lens on it, something. And then one was like inside the building. Oh yeah, that's cap. This is a lie. This is bullshit. I need to stop saying that. I'm trying to, YouTube, sorry. But that's some nonsense. Anyway, I got something else to think about. I like that video.